All right, Art 1, we are going to use oil pastels to kind of fill in this color wheel worksheet that you have in our sketchbook. And this is a practice for a rose window color wheel scratch art project we're going to be working on. So if you open it up, hopefully you have all the colors. This one that I got had the oil pastels into some nice pointed edges. You might not get one that looks so nice, but hopefully they're in okay condition. So I'm gonna start, well, I'm starting on the orange and I'm realizing that's actually a yellow orange. So you have all the primary, the secondary, and then something like yellow orange, that's an intermediate color. It's in between the yellow and the orange. So if you don't have that type of a color, you can fill it in with orange and then just layer a yellow on top of it, or fill it in yellow and then layer again with orange on top. But this pack actually comes with the yellow orange. And then you can see how it's different from the orange. So I'm gonna go a little faster, start filling all these in. I'm trying the best I can with oil pastels to stay in the lines, have nice craftsmanship. And I'm gonna go in order. Oh, it says it on there, red, orange. So if you guys want to fast forward through this, you can. If you guys want to watch me fill all these in, you can. If you want to pause it and do that with me, you can also do that. Oh, that's like a cerulean blue. I think I actually go and add more green on top of this. It's a really pretty blue, but it's not as green blue as I wanted. So I'm adding green back on top. I'm layering. All right, then this last color was the worst, the red violet. When I put it on there, it's really not very vibrant. I didn't think it was very close to that color. So you can see I'm gonna layer on top of this and I'm gonna add violet and then I'm gonna add red. All right, then you can see in this color wheel, there's different rings, kind of like a target. So those are called concentric circles, where you have a smaller circle, a bigger circle, and then a bigger circle. So I have one, the middle circle is where it says tint. And it's really weird in art because tinting means to get lighter. But if we were to tint the windows of our car, that means to make them darker, right? So it doesn't really make any sense. But for art, when we tint, we add white. So you're trying to lighten these colors by tinting with the white oil pastel. And working with oil pastels, you're probably noticing that it creates a lot of, I call them boogers, a lot of oil pastel boogers. You don't really want to like wipe it and smear it across your page. You can have a paper towel and kind of rub, yeah, I just use my fingers there. Rub the oil pastel off on the paper towel, and that'll help kind of keep it clean. And then to shade is getting darker, but if we just add black into this, it's gonna overpower all of these colors. So hopefully in your pack you have a gray color. So I found one called Slate Gray. And so I'm gonna go into each of these little triangles in that inner concentric circle, and I'm gonna add gray on top. So it's gonna be a darker version of that color. And then I added more yellow back on top of that to see if I can make it more yellow. But we're shading each of these colors with the gray. All right, you guys can fast forward through this. So when you're done here, you're gonna label a couple things on your color wheel. I mentioned intermediate colors. So that's the colors that's in between a primary and a secondary. So our primaries are yellow, red, and blue. Secondaries are green, purple, and orange. So the intermediate are the in-betweens. So yellow, green would be an intermediate, blue, green. So just go ahead and label one of them. So it kind of reminds you what an intermediate color is. And then pick 3 colors that are next to each other, kind of draw a bracket around them, and then label it an analogous. And I might spell it wrong here. I'll have to double check. See, I'm like, oh, how do I spell that? So that's an analogous color scheme when you pick 3 colors next to each other. All right, next is gonna be India ink. So India ink is really permanent. It's a permanent black ink that will stain your clothes. So please be really careful with this. So we're gonna check out paintbrushes, and now you guys are painting over the oil pastel. So as you're doing this, you're gonna notice that oil and water don't really mix, and your India ink is going to try to kind of separate or not be really thick. So you gotta try to go over it again with another coat. Try not to scrub the India ink into the pastel. So you want to get a soft brush to do this, nothing with hard bristles. And you just want to have a layer of ink sitting on top of your oil pastel so that when it dries, we can scratch into the surface to create our designs. So try to add more ink, add another coat, lay it on kind of thick if you're getting brush strokes to show up. We're trying to get a flat, even coat, as flat and even as possible. All right, you gotta clean this brush with soap and water, please. And thank you.